Hello, welcome to a reading vlog, or actually this one is a travel vlog. So I have got my suitcase and my backpack hidden here next to me. I'm all packed up and I'm about to travel to the Ivory Coast, Cote D'Ivoire. So I'm going to Abidjan in the Ivory Coast where I'm speaking at a conference. Terrifying. But I'm really excited. I've not been to West Africa before, so I'm excited to go. I'm going to try and attempt to make this a vaguely reading style vlog, or at least have feature a book, but mainly this is just going to be a bit of an adventure. I don't really know what to expect, so I'm flying out this afternoon and I know I land at like midnight Monday morning, so I've got all day Monday free. The conference starts on Tuesday. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do on Monday. I'm probably going to just sort of settle in and then maybe go on a bit of an explore. Tuesday and Wednesday I'm at the conference and I don't know how much kind of free time I'm going to have away from the conference, so I don't know how much extra exploring I'll get to do. And I fly home early Thursday morning, so I have only got 3 days there. But I'm still excited. It's going to be fun. It's a free work trip, you know? Yeah, so come along with me while I go to Africa. Yeah, I have no idea what to expect or what I'm going to do. I've packed away the books that I'm taking, but I'm going to be reading The Dream Builders by, I don't remember who it's by. It's a book for work and I've forgotten everything about it, but I'm going to be reading that one on the plane. I've also got The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie, which is probably going to be my return flight book, and I've got The Hating Game with me is that by Sally Thorne? I don't really know. And then I've just brought my Kindle and I'm thinking, I'm sort of torn between, do I read some of the many KU smutty books I've got on my Kindle, or do I read some of the ARCs that I have on my Kindle? Both I would like to read. I don't have time to read them all. I mean, I'm already bringing 3 books that I also need to read. So yeah, The Dream Builders, let me actually get it out because that one's in my backpack, that's easily accessible. The Dream Builders does sound really interesting. And like I said, it's one that I need to read for work. It's also not super long. So The Dream Builders is by Onindrila Mukherjee. Apologies, I have butchered your name there. So it's not too long, but the synopsis says, after living in the US for years, Manika Roy returns home to India to mourn the loss of her mother and finds herself in a new world. The booming city of Harishapur, where her father now lives, is nothing like the part of the country where she grew up. And the more she sees of this new sparkling city, the more she learns that nothing and no one here is as it appears. Ultimately, it will take an unexpected tragic event for Manika and those around her to finally understand just how fragile life is in this city built on aspirations. Written from the perspectives of 10 different characters, Onindrila Mukherjee's incisive debut novel explores class divisions, gender roles and stories of survival within a society that is constantly changing and is becoming increasingly Americanized. It's a story about India today and people impacted by globalization everywhere, a tale of ambition, longing and bitter loss that asks what it really costs to try and build a dream. I think the cover is beautiful and it does sound interesting, so yeah, I'm excited to get to that one. Like I said, I'm going to read that one on the plane. It's only about 300 pages, so I might be able to start and finish it on the plane. And by on the plane, I also mean like when I'm hanging around waiting at the gate, and I've got like an hour and a half transfer as well. So again, I'm going to have time to read then as well. But that is my plan for this week, for this vlog. I'm going to go and have some breakfast and sort out my tired sounding voice, and I will check in with you probably when I'm at the airport. Monday. I am in Abidjan. Welcome to my hotel room. So I had quite a eventful flight. So we'll start off at the beginning. I mean, the first part was fine. Checking in Gatwick was fine. Then my flight was delayed by an hour and a half. So we didn't leave Gatwick until really late. I had to change in Casablanca. I only had an hour and a half transit. And so I'd spoken to the crew on the flight, and they had spoken to the ground crew and had held my Casablanca to Abidjan flight for me, which honestly was the most stressful thing because I had to go to the check-in desk, get my boarding pass because I wasn't able to get both boarding passes, go through security a second time, sprinted through the airport, got to my gate. As they were boarding, I think there was one person that got on the plane after me, and I was just there like literally dripping in sweat. You know, at this point it was still like, it was about 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, and it was still like sort of mid-20s and degrees, and I was just there like literally dripping in sweat, puffed out because I had run across an airport. Got on the flight, which, because they'd had to wait for, I think it was me and one other person that were on my flight from London. So that flight was an hour delayed. Anyway, then got into Abidjan, and I mean, honestly, Abidjan airport was a nightmare. The visa situation was just a pain in the ass. It took so long to get through passport control because like they had about 3 checkpoints. Went through all of them, got to the passport man, he went, oh no, you need to get your visa, go back. And just literally pointed in the corner and went, e-visa. And I was like, what the fuck do you mean? And why has nobody told me this already, that I needed to do something with an e-visa? So that was a pain in the ass. Then once I cleared through everything, I was meant to have a transfer waiting for me. I was an hour late by this point, a bit more than that. And so at this point, this is about 2 a.m. And my transfer isn't there. So I had to then get a taxi to the airport. That was dramatic because this random bloke helped me find a taxi driver. And I was like, oh, what a nice person. People are so nice. And then when I got to the taxi, he was like, and now you pay me? And I was like, do I pay you or do I pay the driver? And the driver was like, no, you pay me. And I was like, that makes more sense. Okay, I'm not, what's happening? And then literally while I was there, it's 2 a.m. at this point, my brain wasn't catching up. And while I was there going, oh, he wants some sort of like tip/bribe thing from me, you know, for helping me find a taxi driver. Anyway, the driver and this other bloke just started having this like screaming match in French. I speak no French, so I was there like, I don't know what's going on and I'm tired. So that went on for about 5 minutes, and then eventually we got to my hotel where I don't have a reservation. I literally, like, this is like 2:30 in the morning. I just put my head on the desk and was like, no. He was like, you're not due to check in until tomorrow. I was like, I sent the people my itinerary. No. So I ended up having to then pay for a night in the hotel, which is fine. But this took them so long, and then I was probably there at the check-in desk for about 45 minutes. Well, I was like, okay, so I'm going to pay for tonight, and then I've got, then how do I need to check out in the morning? I need to do that. How long, like, have I got? And he was like, oh, and then you're here for 2 nights. And I was like, no, I leave on Thursday. He's like, yep, so you're paying for tonight, and then you've got Monday night, Tuesday night. It's like, and Wednesday? Please don't leave me homeless again. But I think we solved it. I think we got everything sorted. And by, about 3:30 in the morning, I was finally able to be horizontal, which was nice. But to make this into a vaguely reading vlog, so because, you know, booktube and all that, I have been reading The Dream Builders by Oindrilla Mukherjee. I am so sorry, that is not how you pronounce your name, and I'm going to actually look that up properly. I'm really enjoying this. I mean, you can see by all of my tabs. So this is one that I'm working on. So I'm tabbing it. So when I don't actually know if I've ever explained this. So I work for a company called Tandem Collective. We run read-alongs for books. So we're a marketing company. We run read-alongs. So when I'm working on a book, what I'm doing, so I've split it out by my page counts on how much we're going to read each day, and then I tab it where I'm thinking of like questions, quotes that I like, so that then I can come up with a few questions, like discussion points for the group. So I've got a lot to go on, and yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'll be honest, it's a kind of literary fiction, which really isn't my thing. So I was a bit like nervous about starting it because, again, like lit fic is just not my thing, but I'm really genuinely enjoying this. This is it follows 10 different characters, and so each chapter is following a different character. They're all interconnected, and I really like how that's done. So we start off with our character who is has come back to India from America, where she's been living for the last 12 years. And it's kind of her views on how India has changed since she's left. And then, you know, she goes out to a party with a school friend, and then the next chapter is that school friend. And then there's another character who you know, that school, in that school friend's chapter, they've gone and done something and met a third character, and then the next chapter follows that character. So I really like how it's following a thread. And yeah, I like it. Like, there's no real sort of central character or central plot as such. There is, but it's difficult to kind of explain. But I'm genuinely enjoying the kind of like slice of life, like, yeah, views of life in India. So I am. This is my bookmark. It's actually my business card that I have just put in there because I didn't bring bookmarks, don't be ridiculous. But I'm 300 pages through. I've got about 50 pages left, so I'm going to get this one finished today, and then I think I'm going to move on to The Hating Game by, I want to say, Sally Thorne. So tomorrow and Wednesday I'm at the conference, so I don't know how much reading time I'm going to have, but I'm going to be reading The Hating Game then. I've also got The Last Argument of Kings by Joe Abercrombie, which I haven't started. My thought was I'd read that one on the plane on the way back, but I don't actually know if I want to read it on the plane on the way back. I might instead just read something on my Kindle. Yeah, it feels like it's possibly a little bit too heavy to be read on the plane, so we'll see. That's future me's problem. But right now it is 1 p.m. I'm going to go for a little bit of a wander. There is a mosque around the corner that I'm going to go and visit, and then I'll go and find something to eat. I don't really know what or where. I was for some reason thinking of going to a spa and getting a massage and like a mani-pedi, but I don't know if I can be bothered with that. I would like to go to a bookshop because ofs, but the nearest one is a taxi ride away, and to be honest, after all of the taxi drama yesterday, I don't know if I want to get a taxi somewhere. I am only here in Abidjan for 3 days, so it does feel like today, which is my only free day, I am wasting by not doing anything. But at the same time, I don't know what there really is to do here, or what I want to do, and I am still very tired. As you can probably tell by my voice, I'm not jet lagged at all. I'm only an hour difference, but I am just tired. So I didn't sleep that well last night. I hadn't worked out how to get the aircon on, and I got bit by mosquitoes. So it's a very rambly update, but I'm gonna head out and do a little bit of exploring. I will try and get some footage. It'll be on my phone because I'm not taking my camera with me because I can't be arsed. And I'll catch up with you later. Bye. I think you've just seen, but I've just gone on a little wander to a mosque that was only around the corner. Super, super pretty. Yes, got a few catcalls and a few people sort of shouting at me or, you know, trying to talk to me, and it is what it is, isn't it? A lot of people, because I travelled quite a lot, and I generally won't get a taxi unless it's somewhere that is not walking distance, or it's at night, and I generally do things that when I tell other people, they're like, oh my god, how did you do that? It's so unsafe. Such as hitchhiking through the Ecuadorian Amazon, sleeping on the beach in Cambodia. Most people are like, that's ridiculous. And so like the reason I'm saying this is I went down to the hotel lobby and asked about, you know, things to do in the area, and I was told I needed to get a taxi, and I was like, oh, well, I'm just gonna walk down to the mosque. And he's like, no, you can't do that. It's a block. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna get a taxi there. Like, what a waste of money. And I guess my kind of rambly thought on this is, in my mind, people are generally good. I try and see the best in everybody, and I believe that humanity, generally speaking, is good. Yes, there's always exceptions, but I've found that by believing that people are good, I generally don't get myself into situations where something's gone wrong. And I think part of that is, you know, if someone's, like, I mean, here, I obviously stick out like a sore thumb. I'm white, I've got blonde hair, I don't speak any French to make life, you know, even worse. So when someone sat on the street corner shouts at me in French, I'll smile and say bonjour and keep on walking. Like, you know, that's all I'll do. I'm not going to, you know, stop, talk. I'm not going to be super offended or try and run away. And I think as well, you know, I was walking around with my phone in my hand and just sort of taking photos and stuff as I go, as I would normally. And I feel like a lot of people think, oh my gosh, I'm in another country, therefore I must keep hold of everything really, really tightly, which just makes you then look like you're a target. You know, clearly anyone with half an eye can see I'm a foreigner, but I'm not trying to advertise that I've got valuables on me, and I also just minimise the risk, but I didn't take any valuables with me. I took my phone and a bank card. I have 3 bank cards, you know, I've got, so if my bag did get stolen, I've still got bank cards. I haven't left with everything. I'm not going walking around with my passport. But yeah, this was just a little random ramble on, I guess, my thoughts on humanity. Anywho, I feel I should, so I don't actually know if I said this earlier, I don't think I did, but I'm in Abidjan in Cote D'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. I'm here for a conference where I'm doing a talk on public speaking. So I should spend about an hour or so and just do a little bit more research on the people who will be at the conference. I need to do some research on like African publishing in particular, so things like, is there, what genres do well over here, what authors are fantastic. I feel I'm just blabbering on at the moment, so I'm going to love you and leave you and get back to my book. I'm off to do my talk. This is my outfit with my shoes. Yeah, should be fun. That's good, so you can actually see my face. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I'm lit. I'm not feeling nervous at all. So it should be good, and let's see how we get on. So again, this is just, like I said, you're not going to get rid of those filler words, those ums, those ers completely. They are absolutely natural and normal. But you just want to be conscious of them to try to reduce them as much as possible. So as an example, I'm going to say a sentence and I'll say it twice. Adding pauses to your speech can be really powerful. Or adding pauses to your speech can be really powerful. I'm saying the exact same words, but in the first one,
I sound nervous. I sound like I'm not sure of myself. I'm a bit unsure what I'm saying. In the second one, I sound confident. I sound like I believe in those words that I am saying. So again, try to use those pauses to emphasize what you want to say. And the final part on our body is a smile. I'm sure we all know you can hear a smile in someone's voice. You can tell when someone is smiling or when they've got a really straight voice. So if you want your audience to be feeling happy, put a smile on your face. Bring that engagement in. If you're saying something very serious, maybe lose the smile. You don't want to walk into a meeting where you're about to tell people they've lost their job with a huge grin on your face. It's not going to go down too well. So again, like I said, none of this is new information. This is things which we all do naturally, but it is just being aware of how we can consciously use these little tips to improve our speaking. Being aware that up to 93% of what we say is not the words. So how can we make sure that everything else that we are doing that improves our speech actually help get our points across?
This lighting's awful, let me move. So I'm just jumping on just to say I did my presentation today. I was very happy with it. So my presentation was supposed to be on public speaking to the African Publishing Network, which was 50 different publishers across Africa, which is the reason why I'm here in Cote d'Ivoire. However, before I came on, the Minister for Culture from Cote d'Ivoire came in to kind of like basically do like a thank you for having the conference here. And then she spoke to me and she said, oh, so, you know, so are you doing a talk here? And I said, yes, I'm later doing a talk on public speaking. And she said, oh, that sounds really interesting. I might stay. So I gave my presentation on public speaking to the Minister for Culture of Cote d'Ivoire, as well as about 20 members of her entourage and 15 members of the press. So it was fun, but again, that was exciting. Hey, how often do these opportunities come up? My battery is flashing. I'm going to go to lunch, well, to dinner, and I will catch up with you later. I still haven't finished reading The Dream Builders. I am going to finish that maybe tonight, and then I will catch you up on my thoughts on that one and get started on The Hating Game, which I'm really excited to read. Anyway, my battery's about to die, so hello, it is about 7 o'clock on Wednesday evening. So my conference has now finished. This evening is the like leaving dinner and kind of final remarks. So that starts in about an hour. My flight leaves at 6 AM tomorrow morning, which means I'm leaving for the airport at 3 AM. I'm not okay with this. So I honestly don't know how much sleep I'm going to get tonight before the flight. I don't know how long the dinner and dancing is going on for tonight. Realistically, I'm probably not going to be getting, because it doesn't start until 8, I won't be getting to bed before midnight, realistically, and then I've got to leave at 3. So I will probably try and have like a 2-hour power nap, but yeah, it's going to be fun. I am currently packing, making sure that I'm all packed up, have my clothes laid out for travelling, and then yeah, I'm good. I did also, because you know this we are masquerading as a reading vlog, I did finish The Dream Builders. I really enjoyed this. I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. It follows 10 different characters, and I think I was saying this the other day. It follows 10 different characters, but each one is connected to the one before in one way or another. And I loved it. Like it's very much character driven rather than plot driven. But I really enjoyed seeing the different characters, how they interact with each other, their lives, their experiences. It's definitely not my usual type of book. I'm not a literary fiction girly at all, but I really liked this. This is one I'm working on, so I'm not going to be rating it or giving a review or anything, but I am just going to say that I liked it. Right, oh, I've got very close. Hello. I hate packing. Hate it. Problem is as well, let me just turn you around. So this is I've packed up half of my stuff. I've got this pile of crap on my bed and I haven't started looking at toiletries. But it's like, right, clothes I'm wearing on the plane, clothes I'm wearing tonight. What do I do with my laptop? I've only got carry-on. I've got a small suitcase and a backpack, so I've only got carry-on, but still I'm like, let me flip you around again. What I usually do is put everything that needs to go through security in my backpack, so I don't need to open my suitcase at security. But then it makes my backpack heavy because my laptop's in there and everything else, so and it also makes it really full. So I'm tempted to just put my laptop in my suitcase, but I'm not going to open my suitcase. This is very much first world problems, but I just really, I'm tired already and it's 8 o'clock. I did actually go to bed at like 8:30 last night, which was really cool. Yeah, I was knackered, but don't have that luxury tonight. I am gonna, what time are we on? 7:15. I want to go downstairs for like 7:30 because there are a couple of people I still want to talk to and network with and share some ideas with. So yeah, I'm gonna just pull myself together, finish packing, get dressed for tonight, go downstairs, and if nothing else, hopefully I can at least, well, this is it. I can't really bring a book down for dinner because that's a bit awkward. You know, you look a bit weird, don't you, when you come to dinner with a book. But I might at least bring down, well, I can always just find someone to talk to or just play on my phone. I have started reading The Hating Game, which I'm really enjoying. I'm not very far in. I'm 50 pages in, so I'm at the bit where the job has been announced, which they are now sort of fighting for. First impressions, and I have seen the movie, so I kind of do know what's going on. My first impressions are, I kind of wanted this to be from third person perspective and to be able to get a Josh perspective as well. I think that would have been really cool. Lucy is clearly flirting with him. All of her little, like, she's one of these characters that I'm just like, how can you not see that you fancy him? Like, it is clear as day that you fancy him, and like, don't pretend you're not flirting when clearly you're flirting. But yeah, I'm liking it. It's fun. I'm just looking at all of my toiletries that I've got to sort out. Can someone come and pack for me? That would be grand. If you could, you know, get to Abidjan in Cote d'Ivoire within the next maybe 10-15 minutes. Do you want to pack my bags for me? That would be great, wouldn't it, if that was actually a thing that people could do, like teleport. Well, actually, I suppose if you could teleport, you wouldn't need to pack anyway, because you just teleport home, and so you wouldn't need to worry about like the stress of having things packed properly. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling like a weirdo and get back to everything else. Hello, as you can tell, I am now at home. Africa was incredible. I had such a fantastic time. I absolutely loved every single minute of it. And I read some really good books, so that makes me happy as well. So I don't remember what my last check-in was, but I started and finished The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I also bent the corner. It became a casualty of the suitcase. But I really enjoyed The Hating Game. I haven't actually rated it yet, but I loved it. What I really liked with this one is it didn't end with... Maybe I shouldn't say that. I was going to say what the ending wasn't, which I guess is, I suppose, a spoiler. But it didn't end in the way that a lot of romances end. And there's a... how am I putting this? There's a particular ending in romances that really frustrates me. Two endings actually in romances that particularly frustrate me. Just because I feel like it perpetrates that stereotype of you're only happy with a man. And I get it's a romance, so the whole point is that you're going to end up in a relationship. Fine. But, you know, you don't need to be... I don't think that everybody's happy ever after is married, kids, a house, a dog, all of that. I think for some people the happy ever after can just be, I am now dating this person that I've been with, you know, been pining over for 350 pages. So I'm hoping that wasn't too spoilery. But I really enjoyed The Hating Game. I really enjoyed the ending. The tension in this was fantastic. Bella, move your tail, please. Thank you. Lucy, the main character, did irritate me a little bit because there were quite a few really blatant examples of flirting, and she was like, well, he hates me. What evidence do you have for this? That he once didn't smile at you? And there we go, a couple examples where things happened and I was like, yeah, this is very obvious what's happening, and she's choosing to ignore it or choosing not to notice. So that did bug me a little bit, but overall I loved this one. I then moved on to Praise by, I think the author's called Sarah Kate. I'm going to pop it up here. This is book one in the Salacious Players Club series, I believe. I read this one on the plane, and I mean, it is 10 chilies on the 1 to 5 spice chili level rating. It's incredibly spicy is what I'm saying. And I loved it. It was great. You know, it was pure filth. Pure filth. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that it was set around a kink club. So there was really good descriptions of things like BDSM and how it's not a dirty term, you know, it's not a kind of perversion. And I loved how it kind of normalised, yeah, kink, I guess. I also really enjoyed the trans rep in there. I felt that was done incredibly well. Or at least it felt very well, it felt sensitive to me. Again, I'm not in voices, so I can't really comment on that, but I thought I liked that rep as a reader. Yeah, again, I haven't rated that one. They will be coming in my wrap up, which I think you might have already seen. I haven't filmed it yet. But yeah, it was good. So all in all, very successful 4-day trip to Cote d'Ivoire. I read 3 books. These 2 plus Praise. I did not even open The Last Argument of Kings, which I was also meant to read. But to be honest, I'm fine with that. I wasn't in the mood, and I thought, well, I'd rather than force myself to read something that I'm not in the mood for, I'd rather read something that I was in the mood for, which was smut. So that's what I did, and yeah, I had a great time. So I'm going to wrap this vlog up now. If you liked this video, please leave me a like, comment down below if you've got this far. Leave me a little globe emoji, and I would love it if you would subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.